From critical errors in judgment to unforeseen consequences, this eye-opening exploration will leave you questioning the thin line between protector and perpetrator. Get ready to witness the untold side of the badge, where the lives of these female cops take an unexpected turn, and the consequences reverberate far beyond their own careers. This is what happens when female cops make big mistakes. Brianna Strauss. In the bustling city of Washington, there was a police officer named Brianna Strauss. She served in the Federal Way Police Department, dedicated to upholding the law and protecting the community. However, Officer Strauss found herself caught in a whirlwind of public outrage and anger after she uploaded a controversial TikTok video. In this video, Officer Strauss boldly claimed she wasn't just speaking for herself, but for the vast majority of her fellow officers. She expressed her frustration while driving on the freeway in her police car, urging other drivers to get the heck out of the way. Her tone was unapologetic, leaving many people outraged and questioning her attitude. But that wasn't all. Officer Strauss went on to proclaim that she could zoom down the highway at a staggering 90 miles per hour, while regular citizens couldn't dream of such speeds. Why? Simply because she wore the badge of a police officer. In essence, Officer Strauss was attempting to shed light on the undeniable truth. Police officers hold immense power, which they can sometimes exploit. The most audacious part of her short video was when she hinted that if the cops had stayed behind the citizens for too long, they might find a reason to pull them over. It was a statement that left many viewers stunned and fueled the fire of public backlash. The video quickly spread like wildfire across social media platforms, igniting a storm of criticism and condemnation. People from all walks of life voiced their disapproval, questioning Officer Strauss's professionalism and the values she represented. The public expected their police officers to be a symbol of justice and fairness, not individuals who boasted about their privileges and potentially abused their authority. As the controversy continued to escalate, the Washington Federal Way Police Department swiftly took action. They launched an internal investigation into Officer Strauss's conduct, recognizing the urgent need to address the public's concern and restore faith in their law enforcement. Once the video was uploaded, it took the online world by storm, spreading like wildfire and igniting a torrent of rage amongst the populace. People were furious, and rightfully so. How could she have the audacity to report on herself while posting the video on the internet? The backlash was swift, with angry comments flooding in. Realizing the gravity of her mistake, Strauss hastily deleted the video, but alas, it was too late. The damage had been done, as the video had already been widely shared across various social media platforms. The viral video left the police department with no choice but to take action. An internal investigation was promptly launched, delving into the incident and delving into Strauss's past record. Until then, Officer Strauss had remained relatively unblemished, with no complaints filed against her regarding arrests, citations, or traffic stops, as revealed by Commander Kurt Schwan. However, the investigation was necessary. As it concluded, the department made a decision. Officer Strauss was to be suspended without pay, but only for a mere 10 hours. Commander Kurt explained that the reason for the temporary suspension instead of a permanent one was due to her lack of prior disciplinary issues. Nevertheless, the officer's actions had violated the police department's personal and social media protocols, which warranted her suspension. Though some may argue that the punishment was not severe enough, Commander Kurt acknowledged that the brief suspension failed to truly address the underlying problem. In fact, Strauss's video served as a stark reminder of the existing issues plaguing law enforcement agencies and the everyday struggles faced by ordinary citizens. It shed light on the challenges people endure on a daily basis, highlighting the pressing need for change within the system. Well, perhaps some of you believe she's experiencing the consequences of her own actions. However, I doubt you'll have the same opinion about the next story. After all, it's unlikely that you've witnessed an ordinary individual violently attacking a female police officer, resulting in her hospitalization for an entire month. Surprised? Get ready for even more shocking content towards the end of the video. Veronica Murillo. Once upon a time in October 2016, a gripping incident unfolded on the busy streets of Roosevelt Road and Cicero Avenue. It all started when a car careened into a liquor store, creating chaos and confusion in its wake. The audacious driver, later identified as Parta Huff, calmly stepped out of the vehicle and made his escape. Little did he know that his recklessness had caught the attention of vigilant officers nearby. As fate would have it, earlier the same day, Huff had appeared in court for another troubling incident involving the alleged injury of a Forest Park police officer. It seemed that trouble followed him wherever he went. Perhaps it was his choices or circumstances that led him down this tumultuous path. News of the liquor store accident quickly spread, reaching the ears of Officer Murillo and her partner. A concerned passerby, deeply affected by the incident, hurriedly waved them down to alert them to the situation. With a sense of urgency, the officers approached the scene, ready to confront the perpetrator responsible for the chaotic scene before them. Guided by the directions of sheriff's police officers who have witnessed the car crash, Murillo and her partner soon spotted the elusive Huff. Knowing that they had found the person of interest, they called out to him, instructing him to halt his hurried steps. However, Huff, consumed by a powerful drug called PCP, appeared oblivious to their demands. Undeterred by his disregard for authority, Officer Murillo valiantly took on the task of restraining the unruly suspect. She stepped forward, intent on placing him in handcuffs and bringing him to justice. However, what followed was an unexpected turn of events. Huff's demeanor quickly shifted from a nonchalant to confrontational, as if possessed by an unseen force. He resisted the officer's attempts to apprehend him, his aggression surging on the surface. In a desperate struggle, Murillo managed to secure one of his wrists in the cold embrace of a handcuff. But like a wild animal fighting for freedom, Huff fiercely resisted, wrenching his hand free and escalating the encounter into a violent clash of wills. The streets became a battleground as Officer Murillo and Parta Huff engaged in a dangerous dance of strength and determination. Each move, each desperate tug of war over the handcuffs was a testament to their fierce resolve. The sounds of scuffling feet, strained breaths, and the occasional cry of pain filled the air, as if the city itself held its breath, awaiting the outcome of this harrowing confrontation. Yet, amid the chaos and uncertainty, Officer Murillo refused to yield. She held fast to her duty, her commitment to protecting the innocent, and her unwavering belief in the justice system. With determination etched upon her face, she braved each blow, each attempt by Huff to break free. The events that unfolded on that fateful day would forever be etched in the memories of those who bore witness. It was a clash of forces, a testament to the indomitable spirit of law enforcement, and a stark reminder to the dangers they faced daily in the line of duty. And so the struggle raged on, a battle between right and wrong, order and chaos. Huff unleashed a vicious punch that sent her sprawling to the ground. Gripping her hair tightly in his hands, he mercilessly smashed her head into the unforgiving pavement, over and over again. The sheer brutality of the assault was enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. Her partner, desperate to subdue the relentless attacker, resorted to using his taser and pepper spray. However, their efforts seemed futile as Huff appeared unaffected, as if immune to their attempts to bring him down. The situation was a nightmarish struggle for control, captured in its terrifying entirety by the dashboard camera. The aftermath of this savage encounter left Murillo in a state of utter devastation. Her injuries were so severe that she spent over a month confined to a hospital bed. Placed on permanent disability, her life would forever be altered by this heinous act of violence. Testifying in court, her doctor likened her injuries to those suffered in a devastating car accident, emphasizing that he had seen individuals lose their lives from far less severe trauma. In his defense, Huff's legal team argued that his consumption of a significant amount of PCP rendered him incapable of controlling his own actions. According to their argument, he was not in a mental state to form any intent to harm or kill. Furthermore, they claimed that Huff was also under attack by the overwhelming number of responding police officers, adding to the chaotic nature of the situation. However, the defense's assertions were met with skepticism. In their closing arguments, defense attorney William Murphy vehemently denied any evidence suggesting that Huff had intended to harm Officer Murillo. He painted a picture of Huff being swept up in the chaotic turmoil, insisting that he was the true victim of the incident. Yet, both during the trial and the subsequent hearing, the judge swiftly dismissed any notion of Huff being a victim. Despite the undeniable brutality of the assault, the prosecution had a daunting challenge. They had to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Huff had intended to take Murillo's life, a requirement for the charge of attempted murder. Unfortunately, the evidence at hand fell short of establishing his intent, leaving room for doubt in the minds of the jury. The courtroom remained captivated, awaiting the judge's final verdict. While Huff was not absolved of his violent actions, the absence of sufficient proof of intent prevented the prosecution from securing the most severe charge against him. The outcome left a bitter taste in the mouths of those seeking justice for Murillo as they grappled with the frustration of an imperfect